Hello, my darlings. It's Madame Zezuba here with yet another insightful and penetrating reading. This time, it's for all you Aquarians out there, my little water bearers, the bearers of the waters of life, those who bear the intellect of the zodiac, the Aquarians are the real thinkers of the zodiac. That doesn't necessarily mean that the thoughts are necessarily good thoughts or bad thoughts, but it just means that they do a lot of thinking. There's a lot of air energy around the Aquarians. And of course, we're using again cards against humanity, because the cards go where no other cards go. And this is for Aquarians. So if your sun or moon is in Aquarius, or if you have an Aquarius rising, or if you have an Aquarian in your life and you want to have a better idea of what's going on for them, then this is the reading for you. Now, this reading is for the week commencing the 2nd of December 2024. However, if this reading finds you at another date, or if you find this reading at another date, then this is the time that you're meant to hear this particular message. This is a general reading, of course, so you keep what is applicable to you, what resonates with you, and you throw out the rest. It might not necessarily be the things that you are revealed in this reading that are for you. Maybe only a part of the reading is for you, but Madame Zezuba generally finds that there's a little bit of something in this for everyone, especially for the people who are the Aquarians at the moment. So let's have a look. Let's start our little spread. So we're going to start here, go here, and here. Just doing a little spready poo after we've done a little shuffle. And now we're just putting the cards in position. Da 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 di da di da 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 da. Oh, wonderful. All right, let's begin. Now, the first card is the anchoring card. That tells us the context in which the reading has taken place. So let's have a look at what the general context is. Chundering into a kangaroo's pouch. This is very interesting. So, what has been happening that has given context to the situation that you are currently finding yourself in is there has been an expulsion of toxins. An expulsion of toxins into a hidden place that is destined to hop away. So whatever has happened in the past recently has been something that's needed to be let go, needed to be expelled, needed to be expunged, and is going to disappear. It's going to hop away, darling. So what Spirit is telling us here is that whatever has been happening in the past needs to be ignored. It will literally hop away. It will bouncy, just go away. So we don't really need to be concerned about the past. I think Spirit is asking you to ignore the past to some extent. Let's have a look at what else has been happening in the past that has caused this. Sperm whales. This is very interesting. Now, this is negative energies in the past. Sperm whales implies large forces specific to a particular environment. I don't know whether you can pick up the little doggy snoring in the back. Sweetie darling, you really have to not snore while Zezuba is doing her readings. Sperm whales. Sperm whales, of course, the reason that they're called sperm whales is because originally that the head of the sperm whales was considered to be filled with sperm. I don't know why people would have thought of that. I mean, if you have to sperm somewhere, that would seem to be the most unlikely place to store it. Anyway, darling. But in this particular position, negative past influence, people have probably had a lot of stuff to chunder into this pouch. I think there's been a lot of purging. As a result, the situation is really about wiping the slate clean. On the other hand, there have been positive energies in the past, so let's have a look at what this has to say to our Aquarians. Getting cum done. Very interesting. Sperm. What does this mean? There have been both positive and negative aspects about this. We're looking at masculine energies, but we're also looking at the juices of life engendering new life. not necessarily in a position where they might generate new life. So if you can imagine that you're in a position, that the cards are surrounding a position in which you have been, there's been much to do about nothing really, because whatever has happened, it's all hopping away. It really doesn't matter. So let's have a look at where you are now in relation to all of this, darling. A sick burnout. I think what's happened is then you've been looking at all of this rather distasteful ejaculation of things that need to be removed, and you've been more an observer than a participant, darling, and it's all made you a bit sick. I think what's happened in the recent past is that there has been a lot of things coming out that needed to come out, but ultimately you're a bit over it all, darling. I think once again Spirit is asking you not to focus on the past, even the recent past. Let's have a look at what's happening with other people. Nipple blades. Interesting. Well, the nipples represent nurturing. They also represent another juice. This is very juicy reading, darling, because we're looking at nipples, blades, cutting, blood. There's been just a lot, so much expulsion of the juices of life in so many different situations. And you're just over it. I think you're over it, darling. You're just over it. You're over it. Now, if you stay in this over it position and you don't do anything, what's going to keep happening is white people. Very interesting. I think in this situation, white is referring to pallor. I think because of all of this juiciness, we're looking at drainage. People are just drained by this whole situation, and you're over it, darling. You are so over it. But I think Spirit is going to be calling upon you to change this, because if this situation doesn't sit, is a lot of self-indulgence. How far can I get my own penis up my butt? Really, this is about people not getting anywhere. A misuse of the juices of life, darling. We're looking, that will just be draining. There might be some good that comes out of all of this, and that would be crippling debt. This is interesting, because crippling debt is normally a negative thing, but here it's in a positive position. This means normally that what happens is that something that needs to be crippled is going to get crippled. I think ultimately, darlings, what we're dealing with here is that there has been so much drama, and you're fed up with it, but all of this drainage of life force energy is going to end up crippling people in a positive way, in a good way. This is, darling, the storm. It has passed. It has blown over. There's nothing left. Everything is just a wasteland of drainage and pallor, and you're fed up with it, darling. Very much, I think this is a let's move forward now reading. This is like, let's just get rid of it all. Let's just not even give it any energy with our attention. This is the sort of thing that will just, darling, it will just hop away. It'll just hop away. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to keep revisiting this past. You don't need to revisiting this waste of energy, this waste of money, these people that had they had resources in them that in the negative position, this is waste of resources. This crippling debt, I think, darling, that whatever has happened has resulted in so much waste and so many lost opportunities that it's best to not even attempt to resuscitate this situation. Darling, this situation just has to be let go, Aquarius. Let go, my Aquarian darlings. Just let go. This needs to go, darlings. Right, now, Spirit is going to call upon you to become a different version of yourself in response to all of this. Having a golden gay time. Darling, what is a golden gay time but a sweet thing, little cold but also sweet, refreshing, nostalgic, crunchy but also creamy. Spirit is saying, darlings, the past is the past, let it go. You need to focus on yourself right now and just enjoy yourself. The less attention to give to what has been wasted and squandered and is just going to be hopping away, the better you are for it. Sweetheart, right now, Spirit is calling upon you to become the version of yourself that is comfort food, darling, comfort food. That doesn't mean going into a binge. It does not mean going into a place of just overdoing it, darling. This is just about taking some time out. Clarity will come not by trying to solve this insoluble problem that is irreparable. It's gone, it's past. Leave it alone, leave it alone. Just enjoy yourself in the moment right now. Your mind is in your mind and your heart and your body probably right now is in a particular state of being, and that state of being needs to be nurtured. It needs to be comforted. You will not have good thoughts that will resolve the unresolvable situation. This situation is really about cutting your losses, letting it go, darling. And just be you, darling. Just be you. Enjoy yourself. Do not attempt to solve the problem. This is one of those paradoxes where the less you try to solve the unsolvable and the more you let it go and you just have a good time, the more things will actually turn out to the better. This series of cards, this is about other energies that will be in response to your simply deciding, you know what, I'm just going to look after me. I'm just going to look after me. Justin Bieber. How interesting. Well, no insult to Mr. Bieber at all, but we're looking at a young man. We're looking at young man energy. We're looking at a creative spirit, not necessarily, maybe a little bit out of control. I think what's going to happen is that maybe this is really what I call the blowback position, the blowback card. What normally happens in this position, darling, is that the blowback normally means that there will be young male energy, whether it's your own, I don't know, or whether it's other, but this is from others, darling. So this is more likely to be other people are going to be showing the childishness. We're looking at male adolescent. Sorry about the camera flare, darling, but it's more important that I give you the information. Male childishness, adolescent childishness, possibly been given too much too soon, too many resources too fast, out of control, might even rebelliousness, for the sake of rebelliousness, without any particular direction, darling. Popular because it seems to be something seems to be happening. It's entertaining maybe to watch, not necessarily very powerful. More irritating, I'd say. I'd say that in this position, we're looking at irritation more than resistance. You still need to focus on yourself, darling, and not be distracted by the adolescent rumblings, all of that storm and storminess that comes from boys being too affected by their hormones. So, the forces that are working in to favour a more positive outcome is drowning the kids in the bathtub. Once again, darling, we're looking at immaturity, right? We're looking at immaturity. I would hazard a guess in the context of the whole reading was that immature decisions, probably from men or from male energies, have led to a situation of drainage, loss, and it just, this really, you need to drown the past. This is so clear to me. Every time that something comes up from the past, ignore it. It's going to go away. It's destined to hop away, darling. In this particular instance, it's just going to go. There's nothing to be done, nothing to be said. Penis envy. This is very interesting. In this position, I would argue, darling, and in the context of every other card, what is happening here is not so much about you can use the penis envy energy to your advantage. What I think, the little doggy is snoring again. What you really need to do, darling, is, sweetie, quiet. what you really need to do, darlings, is that the energy here is not so much about penis envy being directed towards you. It's about you being able to use penis envy energy. But what does that actually mean? In the context of this is basically you can use... This might sound very cynical, darling, but what it is that I'm envisaging, even whether you're a man or woman, but the image that I'm getting is of a woman who has been surrounded by men who have disappointed her. You can set them amongst each other. They can sort it all out. It's not your problem. You can move on. You can move forward. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman in this position, but that's the image that the reading is getting. A woman surrounded by men who have disappointed, who have wasted their resources. You're sick and tired of it. You can just let it all go because it's going to go away. Anyway, there's nothing you can do about the situation except move on. Invest your energies in other places. Let the boys fight among themselves, darling. It's let them sort it. If they don't sort it, it doesn't matter. Separate yourself entirely from the situation. This will ultimately lead you to cuddling. Isn't this interesting? In spite of all of the waste, all of the resources that have been squandered, if you just concentrate on yourself and you let the past go, you drown the kids in the bathtub and you just let other people sort it out, ultimately you will come to a place of cuddling. You will come to a place very, very supportive, very, very nice. It'll be good for you, darling. The less you get involved in trying to solve the problem, the better. Even if other people try to bring you into it, even if other people with their immaturity try to press your buttons, you just stay there having your golden gay time. Because at the end, the situation is going to resolve itself. You do not have to do anything, darlings. You do not have to do anything at all. The situation will solve itself in a very cuddly way for you. Very strong message, very clear, very unambiguous. I hope this has been of help to you, darlings. Until next time, bye-bye from Madame Zezuba.